Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with our next chapter of English language, that is articles. This is the sixth chapter in English language. You all have been studying articles for many years, so this is not a new chapter. However, since you are in a higher standard now, we will have some added rules. Before I teach you the new rules, I'm going to have a quick recapitulation of whatever you all already know about articles. So we'll start with the warm-up exercise. So this picture is taken from your book. This is the first part of your book. There's a small activity here. Let's see what we have to do. Tick the sentences where a or an has been used correctly and cross the ones where they have been used incorrectly. Okay, so you can see that there are few sentences given over here. In some of these sentences, the use of a or an is correct, but in some sentences, the use is wrong. It has been used incorrectly. So we have to tick the ones where it is correct and cross out where it is incorrect. So the first sentence here is, she has a dog. When I say a dog, this sentence is a correct sentence. So we'll put a tick beside it. Right? Because a dog, whenever you say dog, the article will be a before it. So it is correct. The next sentence says, this is an good place. Is that correct? No, it is incorrect. Because when we use an, the next word should either start with a vowel or it should start with a consonant that sounds like a vowel. Since good does not sound like a vowel, this is an incorrect sentence. Next, she seems to be a nice person. A nice person. This again is correct. Fourth one, please pass me a pen. Now when you're talking about a pen, the article that goes before pen will be a, so it is correct. I saw an elephant this morning. Now again, elephant starts with a vowel, but the article used before it is a, so it is incorrect. This is going to be, I saw an elephant, so we put a cross here. I always wanted to be a teacher. Now teacher also starts with a consonant and the article before it is a, so this is correct. So children, this is just a recap. I'm sure you all already know this. This is just a quick warm-up before we go on to the main chapter. So what did we learn from this? The words a and the are called articles. They are used to point out people or things. Alright, let's move on to the next part of the chapter. Articles can be of two types. The first type is called indefinite articles. Let's learn about indefinite articles. Indefinite articles are used when we are not talking of any particular person or thing. These articles are a and an. So what does the word indefinite means? Indefinite means not particular. When you're not talking about any particular person or any particular thing. So we're talking about a general group of people or a general group of things. That time we use indefinite articles. A and an are called the indefinite articles. This is the first type of articles. Let's see what is the second type. Alright, so the second type is called definite articles. Definite articles are used to refer to a particular person or thing. Now I told you that when you do not refer to a particular person or thing, you use the indefinite article. But when we are talking about one particular person or one particular thing, we use the definite article. There is only one definite article, which is the. So there are three articles in all, a, an and the. A and an are called indefinite articles and the is the definite article. I hope the two kinds of articles are very clear to you. So when can we use indefinite articles? Now I've told you that a and an are indefinite, the is definite article. But when do we use indefinite articles? There are various rules around it. Now articles are not as easy as you had till the last year. There are some added rules over here. So when do we use indefinite articles? We are going to understand this with the help of some rules. Let's start with rule number 1. Now I'm going to show you some words over here. Look at these words. A chair, a table, an umbrella, an igloo, an apple. These are all countable nouns. We always use a and an before countable nouns in the singular number. Okay, so all the words I showed you here, chair, table, umbrella, igloo and apple, these are all countable nouns. See, you can definitely count the number of chairs, you can count the number of tables, umbrella, igloo and apples. So whenever you have a countable noun in the singular number, remember only singular number, not plural, only one, okay, then you can use the article a and an. But now if I say a tea, an ink, a sugar, a milk, is this correct? Does it sound correct to you? No, it is not correct. These are all wrong. Why is it wrong? Because these are uncountable nouns and we do not use articles before uncountable nouns. So now when you have an uncountable noun which you cannot count into 1, 2, 3, 4, there you will not use any article. Can you count tea as a tea? Only one tea, or ink as one ink? No, you cannot do that. So you cannot use an article before that. Remember, a and an will only be used for countable nouns in the singular number. So instead of saying a tea, an ink, a sugar and a milk, I might say a cup of tea, a bottle of ink, a packet of sugar and a glass of milk. Now look over here. I can use the word a here because cup is countable. I can say bottle of ink because bottle is countable. I can say a packet of sugar because packet is countable. And a glass of milk because glass is also countable. So please remember, whenever you have uncountable nouns, you have to use a countable word before it so that you can use an article. If you cannot do that, you will not use any article in that place. Alright, now let's move on to rule number 2. When to use a. Now there are some more rules about when will we use a. This I am going to make you all understand with the help of some examples. You will answer these questions that I will tell you right now, which will help you to understand the rules as well. Now here I have given you certain words and there is a blank before every word. So it's toy, pen, cat and bike. Now tell me, which article do you think will you use before these words? Yes, you will use a. You will say a toy, a pen, a cat and a bike. So this will help us to understand the first rule. Let us see what the first rule here is. So a can be used before a countable noun in the singular number beginning with a consonant sound. So whenever you have a countable noun in the singular number which begins with a consonant sound, you can use a. I hope you remember what is a consonant sound. A vowel is a, e, I, o, u and all the other letters in the English alphabet are known as consonants, right? So whenever you have a word starting with a consonant sound which is a countable noun and a singular in number, you will use the article a before it. Alright, this is the first one. The second one over here, again I have some words for you. University, unit, one-eyed monster, one-way street. Now think about it. What will you fill in these blanks? See, all the words here are starting with vowels. University, unit, one-eyed monster and one-way street. U and O, these are all vowels. So will you write an before these? No, you will not write an. You will write a. See, now you might be thinking that these are vowels. Then why are we using a over here? Because we also use a before any word that begins with a vowel sound but is pronounced with a consonant sound. So even if your first letter is a vowel but the pronunciation is that of a consonant, you will use a. You will not use an, you will use a. So university, the pronunciation is of ya. Unit is also ya. One-eyed monster and one-way street, the first pronunciation is were for one. So because these are the consonant sounds, that is why you will use the article a and you will not use an. I hope this is clear. These are two instances where you will use a. Now when to use an? Again, there are few words for you all over here. Egg, apricot, ox. Very easy. I'm sure you all know the answer. Yes, the answer is an. An egg, an apricot, and ox. Why do we use an over here? Because we will always use an before a countable noun in the singular number beginning with a vowel sound. Whenever you have a vowel sound in the first, you will always use an before it. These words, egg, apricot, ox, not only they have a vowel sound, they also start with an actual vowel. That is why you are using an over here. Next set of words, MA, MP, MLA. Here also we will use an. We will say an MA, an MP, an MLA. Now you might be thinking that these words are starting with M and M is a consonant. So why do we use an over here? Should we not use A? Let us understand the rule. An is used before abbreviations if the consonant begins with a vowel sound. So whenever you have an abbreviation means a short form. And if the first letter has a vowel sound, you will use an before it. Now M is a consonant, but it makes the sound of a vowel. When you say M, it starts with A and then M comes. So because A is the vowel sound, you will use an over here. I hope this is clear. Just for your information, MA stands for Masters of Arts, MP stands for Member of Parliament, and MLA stands for Member of Legislative Assemblies. So if you have any such abbreviation, you will use an before it. Remember, the sound first has to start with a vowel sound. That is your clue for using an. Next set of words. So two words are over here, our and honest person. You all have done this in class 5 as well. You all already know that here you will use an. Why will you use an over here? Because an is used before words beginning with the letter H, which is not pronounced. So the letter H is written, but the pronunciation is not made. You are not pronouncing the word H. That is why we use an before it. We say an hour and an honest person. I hope this is also clear to you. These are all rules taken from class 5 and I'm sure you all know this. I'm going to move on to the next rule. This is rule number 3. Again, I'll give you some sentences and I want you all to fill this up. Dash bull has horns and dash elephant is an intelligent animal. Think, how would you answer this? Before I explain it, I want you all to make your answers. Yes, the first one will be a bull has horns. Second one will be an elephant is an intelligent animal. Now, why do we use a and an over here? Let's study that. Here, a bull represents the entire class of bulls. When I say a bull, I don't mean to say that only one bull has horns. I mean to say all bulls have horns, right? Is it so that only one bull has horns and the others don't? No, all the bulls have horns. So when I say a bull has horns, I am representing the whole class of bulls. Alright? And similarly, an elephant represents the entire class of elephants. When I say an elephant is an intelligent animal, I'm not talking about one particular elephant. I'm talking about the whole group of elephants, a whole class of elephants. That is why the articles a and an will be used over here. So we can use a and an before a singular countable noun that is used to represent a class of things. Okay, good. So we are good with rule number 3. We will move on to rule number 4. Again, I'll give you a set of sentences. What dash great dress? He is such dash nice man. Okay, note your answers before I explain. Yes, answer will be what a great dress, and he is such a nice man. Why do we use a over here? Because if you have words like what and such, the indefinite articles a or an will be used. If there's a vowel sound, you will use an. If there is a consonant sound, you will use a. Okay. So whenever what and such is there, you will use a or an. Alright. Let's move on to rule number 5. Not dash word was uttered. Try answering this one. Yes, the answer is not a word was uttered. Uttered means spoken. Why have we used a over here? Because indefinite articles a or an are also used to indicate one. So when I say not a word was uttered, it means not a single word was spoken. When I'm stressing on the number 1, I will use indefinite articles a or an. Okay. Since my word over here after the article is word which starts with a consonant sound, I'm using a. But if there was a vowel sound, you will use an. Okay, let's move on to number 6. Try answering this. He is dash artist and she is dash lawyer. Right, the answer is he is an artist and she is a lawyer. So my rule here says indefinite articles a or an are used when we speak of a profession. When talking about a profession, the article before it will also be a or an. Okay, let's see rule number 7. There are certain sentences over here. We are going to answer it one by one. The first one, can you give me dash little sugar? Note down your answers, children. Yes, the answer is, can you give me a little sugar? Next, he bought dash dozen eggs. Now, only if you have to use an article here, what will you use? You will use a dozen eggs. It is dash quarter of a kilometer to the station. Alright, so if you're asked to use an article, you will use a. And dash lot of people appreciated the program. A lot of people appreciated the program. So in these sentences also, we see that the article a is going to be used. Let's understand the rule. Words like dozen, quarter, 100, 1,000, few, little and lot are preceded by a. So this is a given rule. Before these words, you will always use a. Alright, we'll move on to a next one. This picture I've taken from your book itself. This one is very easy. We'll just read it and we'll understand quickly. Let's see what it says. We use little with quantity and few with number. So little and few are two words. Sometimes we get confused when to use little and when to use few. So this box makes it clear when will you use little and when will you use few. So when you're talking about quantity, remember quantity is something that you cannot count on your finger. You cannot count it like 1, 2, 3, right? Whenever you have quantity, you will use little. That is uncountable things. Whenever you have number, that is when you can count the particular thing or the person. Then you can use the word few. So when it is uncountable, you will use little. When it is countable, you will use few. Alright. Okay, let's look at the sentences over here. There is a little tea left in the pot. Now little t, see, because t is uncountable, we use little. There is little chance of his coming in the rain. Again, chance is also uncountable, but there is a difference between the two little over here. When I say there is a little tea left in the pot, I mean to say that some tea is left. Okay? But when I say there is little chance of his coming in the rain, that means there is hardly any chance. So, I'm stating a thing which might be impossible. So little can be used in two different senses as well. Similarly, when I say a few boys have done very well in the exams, I mean that some boys have done well. But when I say the meeting was attended by few women but many men came, that means the number of women was very less. Now again, the word few can be used in two different senses. Okay, so after all the rules that we have studied till here, we have exercise A on page number 65. This is how the exercise looks. You have to fill in the blanks with a or an. I want you all to do this on your own in your rough copy. Please remember, you will not do this exercise in the book right now. You will use your rough copy for doing this exercise. The answers will be shared with you in the next class. Till then, use your rough copy for doing this work. You can watch the next video for understanding rest of the part of the chapter. Thank you.